welcome to Inspirational Monday. Today's topic about forgive yourself. I think this relates to a lot of people because we beat ourselves up for decisions that we've made in the past, whether it's a financial decision, a work-related decision, a relationship decision, relationships with spouses, relationships with parents, relationships with friends, family members, etc. And we carry a lot of baggage from the past that makes its way into our future. And then when it shows up, we're trying to figure out, why am I angry? Why is this way? Why does this always keep happening to me? It's because we haven't forgiven ourselves for things that has happened in the past. Now, the reason why I say you got to start with yourself, you got to really start with yourself for forgiveness, is because you can't keep beating yourself up for something that happened 5-10 years ago, yesterday, yes, even yesterday, because that no longer exists. It's done. It's over with. It no longer exists. In order for us to be able to get to a greater part in our lives, we have to live for the now. What's going on now? What decisions am I making now? What am I going to do to propel myself to my future dreams and my future goals? What am I going to do now? Not what could I have done yesterday and all that stuff. You could have done that then, but that is over. Live in the now. Forgive yourself for that decision, because as humans, we are not perfect. We are all flawed. We all make mistakes. We all make decisions that aren't necessarily right at the time, but give yourself credit. At least you did make a decision. At least you did try. Because everybody has bad relationships, friendships that don't work out, jobs and careers that don't necessarily work out for them, or they didn't see themselves going in that direction, or relationships that are just toxic and stuff like that, where one person says one thing, another person says another thing, and you're constantly butting heads and stuff like that, but you don't forgive yourself for even being in that relationship. You don't forgive yourself for making those decisions. You don't forgive yourself for anything that's wrapped up in your past, and it's showing up today. It's showing up in the now. Now, the thing is, like I said, you got to forgive yourself. Forgiveness is powerful, because once you forgive the past, then your future can show up for you. Your future is saying, okay, now that this stuff is settled and this stuff is over with, I'm available to you. So what do we want to do living in the now, that we can set the course for tomorrow? We can set the course for 5 years from now. We can set the course for 10 years from now. You see what I'm saying? You see how important that is, to forgive yourself for the past and let it go? Because it no longer exists. It is a point in time that happened. It no longer exists. As of today, that situation no longer exists. That situation is over, done with. It is not helping you propel yourself to the future. Now, what's going to help you is to, okay, this happened. Okay, I forgive it. I'm free of it. And now my future is waiting. My greatness is waiting. My greatness is waiting to happen, because we're all meant to do something great here. And it doesn't have to necessarily be on an international scale. It can be on a local scale with 10 people, 5 people, 1 person. Greatness is how we measure it. Don't let someone else measure your greatness. That's up to you to determine how to measure your greatness. So please forgive yourself. And also, I spoke about forgiveness in a previous video, but forgive others too. And why I'm saying forgive others is because then the power of them over you and their decisions or whatever that was is still hovering over you, and you're still constantly thinking about it, and you can't move forward. Your future can't show up for you if you are constantly dealing with the past. If you are constantly in self-pity, self-denial, not coming up with a plan to move forward. So we got to show up for ourselves. Our future has to show up for us. So this is just one tool in order to do it, is forgiveness. Forgive the past. Forgive yourself. Forgive others. Forgive that situation. Forgive. Now that you have forgiven, you are ready to receive. You have gotten rid of this block. You've gotten rid of this wall, because unforgiveness is a block. It keeps you from moving forward. It keeps you from being healthy. It keeps you from prospering. It keeps your mind from growing. It keeps you from doing whatever it is that you want to do on this planet, whatever it is that you want to do in your life, whatever it is that you want to achieve. Unforgiveness will block it. Now that you have forgiven and made peace with the past, your future is going to show up for you, and it's going to show up big once you've gotten over that hurdle, because then you can see all these possibilities of stuff that you can be doing, stuff that you can be accomplishing, stuff that you can be creating for yourself, for your families, for your legacy, if that's what you want to do, because the ultimate goal is purpose. The ultimate goal is happiness. And please remember that all the lessons that you've learned, share them with somebody, just like I do on this channel. Anything that I've learned living all these years that I've lived on this earth, I try to share it, because it's not going to do me any good taking it to the grave with me if it can help somebody else's day be better, if it can help somebody else's future be brighter and show up for them. Because I once lived in unforgiveness, where somebody did something to me, and I would put up this wall here, the wall that I just spoke about, and they could not get through because I would not forgive them, because they hurt me, they said something to me, they did something to me, and like I said in a previous video, I'm the one going home not sleeping and constantly thinking about it when it's over, and they've moved on with their lives, and they're going on to their greatness, and they're going on to things that are enriching them and purposing them, and I'm still wallowing in that negative nonsense that went on like 10 years ago or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You still worried about something that happened 10 years ago, and they're living in their future, and they're moving on to their greatness, when you should be doing the same thing too, moving forward and moving on to your greatness. But no, you can't get over stuff that happened 10, 15, 20 years ago, or stuff that didn't even happen in your generation. Because I had an aunt and a cousin that had a conversation about, now everybody in their family's got a rolling stone. Now, a rolling stone is an expression for a father that goes from this woman to that woman to that woman to that woman. And I guess mothers can be rolling stones too, but in this instance, it was my great-grandfather. He was a rolling stone. So he had women here, 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 and here. And what he did in our family was he slept with two first cousins. And these first cousins had children by him. He was going back to my great-grandmother. She was having children. He was going back to my great-grandmother's cousin, and she was having children. So these children are cousins, but they're also half-brothers and sisters. Now, my aunt, who is his daughter, and my cousin, who is his granddaughter, were having this conversation about this whole thing. And then my cousin was like, well, I heard he wanted to marry my grandmother, and then my aunt took offense to that because, you know, in loyalty to her mother. So I'm like, neither one of you knew the man, neither one of you knew their dynamics. You didn't know the dynamics between your grandmother and him, and auntie, you didn't know the dynamics between your mother and him, because my aunt, unfortunately, her mother died when she was 2 to 3 years old. So she was raised by my grandmother and my great aunt. They raised her. So, but they were sitting here, you know, thinking of the dynamics of these people, and then they got mad at each other, and they couldn't forgive each other for what was said. And I'm like, but this has nothing to do with you. You know, only thing you have to forgive the past. But why are you bringing up something that happened in the 20s, 30s, and 40s? Because this is when all this stuff happened. It happened in the 20s, 30s, and 40s, but we've carried it on into our generation, and we're still dealing with this, and we're still talking about this. I'm like, you got to forgive him. If this is what the real situation is, you got to forgive the past, because you are here. You are here. And because of his actions, you are here. You may not necessarily agree with how he lived, or how he treated your mother, or how he treated her cousin and all that, but you got to forgive, and you got to let that die with them and not take it to the next generation, because all it's going to do is go to her kids and go to her grandkids and go further, and they're still going to talk about something that didn't even happen in their time or their existence. Even though these things do happen, it just shows up in other ways. But like I said, what does this dwelling on this and what he did or what he didn't do, or what your mother said and what the relationship was, or what her cousin said and what the relationship, what does that have to do with you, and what does that have to do with now? That has nothing to do with now, because that no longer exists. It is over. It is appointed. You know, just back, my video camera stopped, so I just want to go back to that about taking things from the past and forgiving those things from the past that didn't necessarily happen with you. So, like I said, my aunt and my cousin got into this whole riff about what her father and my cousin's grandfather did with his relationships with his women. But the thing is, learn from them, don't make those same mistakes, and move on with your future. Do not let other people's problems affect your future. Forgive the past as well. Forgive the past, forgive yourself, forgive others. Forgive what you hoped others could be for you, because sometimes they don't have the tools to be what you expect them to be. We don't know how he grew up. We don't know what he was taught from his mother and father, and we don't know what his parents were taught from their mothers and fathers. So you get it? When we get into these cycles and generational curses and things that happen that keep our future from going forward, because we got all this baggage and all this dirt in the root system. And I spoke about the root system too, so I'll leave a link to that video below, the root system. So clean out your root system, forgive, plant new soil. We're living in the now. You know what I'm saying? As always, share this video with somebody who it can help. Give a thumbs up. And leave me some comments below, because I would like to hear your comments on this situation and this topic right here. And as always, let's do it.